Scandinavian Bob here, hi. What lies are you telling yourself to justify a relapse? You see, every single one of us has this addiction voice inside our head that is trying to fool us and make us break our own intentions in the heat of the moment. Now, it doesn't happen with every relapse all the time, but it does happen often enough. So, I would want you to recognize 1 to 3 big lies that you often fall for during your relapses, and then please write them down in the comment section below. Because by doing this, you will help not only yourself, but you will also help others who are watching and reading. You see, just the act of writing this down will help you become more aware of them in the heat of the moment. And if you've been part of the NoFap journey for some time now, you have to agree on the fact that awareness is something we cannot have too much of when it comes to breaking that autopilot mode that so often activates during a relapse. If you do not want to write it down in the comments section, then at least write it down in your NoFap journal, because trust me on this is something that will help you. As an example, I can share a couple of lies that I myself commonly fell for back when I was rebooting. Now, my lies changed a bit over time, but a couple of common ones were: oh man, I've been living pretty unhealthy the last week or so. I drank some alcohol yesterday and today I ate some junk food again. I might as well relapse now then, and then I start fresh tomorrow with a new healthy streak where I really put my life in order. Yeah, that's gonna be great. Now, one important thing to realize here is that this lie or something similar often started playing in my head after I was already feeling urges. And it is always in that moment when the lies suddenly seem more convincing. You know, we almost never start telling ourselves things like this from a calm, rational, strong position of mind. But the more aware of these lies we are in advance, then the easier it will be to view the lie for what it really is in the heat of the moment as well. A big, fat lie. And this one is clearly a lie, because in terms of relapsing, it doesn't matter if I've been living unhealthy or not the week leading up to now. Stacking one bad thing on top of another bad thing doesn't make things any better. In fact, it just makes everything worse. So it's clearly a big, fat lie. Here's another one. What difference does it make if I wire my brain to pixels on a screen or not? I have so much social anxiety that I'm never going to be able to get a girlfriend again, and I'm getting too old to change my situation anyway. I might as well keep enjoying whatever pleasure the internet has to offer. Oh man, now how negative is that one? But here's the sad part. I often fell for it back in the day. Again, in the heat of the moment, those lies can really seem convincing. Unless you have written them down and analyzed them in advance. And even though the lie had some truth to it, because they almost always have some small truth in them. Yes, I had really bad social anxiety, for example. And yes, it was almost impossible for me to go out and interact at that time. But that didn't mean that my situation would always look like that. And it didn't, because once I overcame my addiction, my social anxiety also dropped significantly. So nowadays I no longer have any problems interacting with people, for example. However, should I have kept listening to that lie? Well, then I would still be stuck in my addiction, since it would just keep me relapse, and I would be stuck with severe anxiety, and thus the lie would actually have been some sort of self-fulfilling prophecy. But here's the thing, even then it would have been a lie, because it does not matter how bleak the situation looks. It is always possible to improve at least somewhat upon it. And one thing that is even more certain is no matter how bad a situation is, it is always possible to make it worse. Now, I like the way Jordan Peterson puts it here. quote, there's this idea that hell is a bottomless pit. And that's because no matter how bad things are, some stupid son of a bitch like you can always figure out a way to make it a lot worse. Unquote. Yeah, I laughed so hard when I first heard him say that because I recognized myself in that statement. So it was the laughter of recognition. And that statement is so true as well. No matter how bad a situation is, it is so easy to make it even worse. So we really have to avoid going down that road. So, really take this seriously now and write down every NoFap lie you can think of in your journal, because it will be so helpful for you. And again, please share at least one of them in the comment section below. And speaking of bad things and being stuck in life, if you feel stuck right now and all the self-help content out there really makes you overwhelmed, then take a look at a video I made about a year ago where I shared the bare necessities that if you only were to do those, your life could look a whole lot different within just 1 year. You can see that video on the screen right here. Just click on that and it'll take you there. Alright? This is Scandinavian Bob signing out for today, and as always, I wish you all the best in your journey to become the strongest version of yourself. And